Welcome to PiSeas Tarot, and I am your host, Mimi Lightseer. Your business is my business. Today, we will dive into your business with a timeless relationship reading, which means it could be platonic, professional, or romantic. In this session, we will explore the overall energy of your reading, obtain cosmic insights to identify the topics, spill the tea on the energies involved, uncover the positives and the negatives while revealing the lessons that you need to learn, and suggest actions for healings and the best possible outcomes. Remember, this is a general reading, and you have found it when this message is needed. Please take what resonates and leave the rest. Remember, I am LGBTQ plus friendly, using pronouns for storytelling purposes. Lastly, please like, rate, subscribe, and comment. Let me know how this message is connecting with you. And without further ado, let's get into your business. Good morning, 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 everybody. Good morning. Welcome to PiSeas Tarot, everybody. I am your host. I am Mimi Lightseer. Over here at PiSeas Tarot, your business is my business. If child, baby, girl, boy, whomever, man, woman, and child. Children should not be here, though. We are about to get into somebody's business. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning to all of my guppies, my friends who are on the graveyard shift, and all of our international family, regardless of where you're coming from. If you are new to PiSeas Tarot, go ahead and put a star in the chat. If you are a returning guest, go ahead and put a fish in the chat. We love to welcome our new and existing friends to come on over and visit the city. Welcome, 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 and welcome. Welcome, everybody. Also, we want to welcome everybody that's watching behind the scenes on TikTok this morning. Good morning to you as well, everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. Listen, guys, today's agenda consists of a brief energy cleanse, which is brief meditation and sound bowl cleansing, divine insights, and I got to download this morning. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there. I got to download this morning. Okay. Also, an energy reading, which I will start to give you some insights about what we're going to be talking about, followed by some insights and observations, and then I'm going to give you a confirmation of everything that I told you using the tarot cards, as well as provide some closing thoughts. All right, so if y'all ready to get this show on the road, I want you to put the scrub-a-dub-dub, any one of your favorite cleaning emojis. Go ahead and put your favorite cleaning emojis in the chat, because it is very important that we settle our energy and get ready for position ourselves into a position and just being able to hear. So if y'all ready to hear, all right, what we got going on, I need you to put your favorite cleaning emoji. It might be the sponge, it may be the broom, it may be any of that. All right, here we go, y'all. All right, guys, so as I mentioned, before we move forward, let's take a moment to level set and to ground ourselves. And we could do this using a simple approach by cleansing our energy through breath work and sound. Okay, it's very simple. We're going to take in 3 deep breaths, inhale very slowly, and within each inhale, we want to invite clarity and balance. And with each exhale, we want to release any tensions, any distractions. We want to make sure that we do this 3 times, all right? 3 times. So if y'all ready, let's go ahead and get to it, shall we? Here we go. All right, guys. Yes. That always feels so good to me, especially first thing in the morning. Now, let's clear up any stagnant energy that we may have, and let's reset our energy by bringing us into alignment and presence, okay? So here we go. Ooh, don't it feel good? Don't it feel good? Don't it feel good? Spirit, you are welcome and invited here. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. All right, y'all. If y'all ready for a fun, safe, honest interaction, remember this is a safe space. Your honesty and your transparency are appreciated. Ain't nobody judging you because we ain't nobody to be judging. But anyway, let's get ready for an interacting at an engagement time, y'all. If y'all ready to get into this read, y'all ready to let me cook, okay? Go ahead, y'all. Go ahead. If y'all ready to get into this, go ahead and put the cooking emoji, whatever your favorite cooking emoji is. Go ahead and put it in the chat at this time. Because, child, I promise y'all, we going somewhere. We going somewhere. And if you've been to PiSeas Tarot before or not, one thing about me, when y'all see my nose doing like this, you know it's gonna be good. Because ain't nobody sick, all right? So if y'all ready to get if y'all ready to get into this, go ahead and put your hand clapping. I'm not hand clapping emojis. Your cooking emojis. Your cooking emojis. So let's go ahead and get into this, shall we? Here we go. All right, y'all. So each day I take a moment to reflect upon the immediate energies the spirit is showing me and things that I'm picking up on with divine messages and divine downloads. And out of respect for everybody's preferences, beliefs, and backgrounds, I try to stay neutral. I really do try to stay neutral, right? Because I don't want to impose upon anybody else's beliefs. I just don't, right? But the reality is, this morning, as I was waking up, the first thing that Spirit was telling me was to let go of something that I was offended by. And I was just like, okay, but what does that mean? What exactly does that mean and what exactly does that look like? Just letting go of something that has offended me. And lo and behold, as I went to do my Bible study this morning before I come live, I always do my Bible study. And it was the story about the gentleman who was asking Jesus to heal his daughter. And Jesus said to him that anything was possible if you believe, right? And so the guy was struggling with unbelief, right? Now, there's a difference between unbelief, disbelief, and believing, right? Now, aside from the spiritual context of what I was saying, from the biblical perspective, let's translate this into everyday situation. You believe in love, but you've been disappointed because your heart has been broken so many times. And now that your heart has been broken so many times, you no longer believe. You're not in disbelief, because to be in disbelief means I don't believe at all. Right? That's what disbelief is. Unbelief says I believe in it, but I don't believe it's for me. Okay? And the challenge in this, because I find myself being in that same bucket of people where I have gotten so shut down. Well, I haven't gotten, I've become so shut down and resistant to the thought of love being for me because of all the ample heartaches and disappointments and just frustrations and anxieties and griefs and angstes and all those negative things that you start to hold on to as you go through this journey. Now, I know I'm not the only person out there. So if you've been experiencing the same irritants with dating and trying to meet people, can you just raise your hand in the chat? Let's just tell the truth and shame the devil. We need to go to Single People Anonymous. Because there really needs to be a space. This is something that's not talked a lot about. What happens to the mind as people keep telling you, forget the mind. What happens to the heart? As people keep telling you, you need to put yourself out there. Go find you somebody. Go meet you some. As if it were that simple. As if it were that simple. Okay? People are not speaking enough about what that does to you mentally and what it does to you emotionally. And so you come to a space of where it's not that you don't believe in love. You think love is a beautiful thing. You celebrate love when you see it across the board, right? But you do stop to pause and ask yourself, Is love really for me? Is love really for me? Y'all know what I'm talking about up there? Is love really for me? That's where we struggle with unbelief. Okay. And so this morning, I wanted to implore you, if this is you, because this is me, and I'm not trying to project upon you what that looks like. I'm just being honest and being vulnerable and saying that this is me. This is where I am, right? So I'm taking this challenge too. And if you're going to sign up for the challenge, because now I'm challenging you, I just want you to say, help my unbelief. Or I need help with unbelief. That's what I want you to say in the chat. I need help with unbelief. Let's put that in the chat. I need help with unbelief. Because that's where we're struggling. Okay? We need help with unbelief. All right? Now, during the pre-show, as I was vacillating back and forth whether or not I was going to share this, because as I mentioned, I try to remain neutral to whatever your beliefs are. I realize everybody may not believe in the Bible, everybody may not, but whatever, you know. Spirit talks, spirit knows where you are, and he meets you wherever you are. So that's not my job to condemn nor judge. It's my job to just be the vessel to share the message, right? Now, as I was sitting here, no kidding, during the pre-show, talking to the folks over here on TikTok that's watching on the pre-show, I was thinking about how to take what spirit dropped in my soul to translate it into a song. And I was sitting here thinking, and I literally said out loud, I was thinking about a song to try to replace it with, to capture the same feeling. Couldn't come up with nothing. Why did spirit drop in my soul? LL Cool J, 1987. When I tell you I was probably just now really getting out of diapers good in 1987, I need love. I need love. 1987. And the words go, when I'm alone in my room, sometimes I stare at the wall, and in my back of my mind, I hear my conscience call, telling me I need a girl who is as sweet as a dove. For the first time in my life, I see I need love. There I was, giggling about the games that I played with many hearts, and I ain't saying no names. Okay? Now I'm just going to stop there, because, you know, I'll end up rapping the whole dang on thing. Okay? So, this is about somebody recognizing that you need love, and you may have been afraid to love. All right? If you know you need love, but you may be afraid to love, this may be the message for you. And the reason why I'm saying that is because love is interactive. Okay? Love is interactive. And it feels like either you or your person may be afraid to position themselves into receiving and giving love, whether it's because they know how, maybe because they're afraid, maybe because of the way that they were raised. I mean, we've been speaking so much about wounds and trauma bonds and things like that, and healing those things as we go along the way. And maybe they didn't see a good example of love. Okay? But if you know that this is where, and see, self-awareness is important because that ties into this as well. But let me just give y'all this disclaimer. If you have been vacillating back and forth about whether or not to proceed to move forward or to divulge your heart and your soul to somebody, you got about 10 days to do it, because Venus goes retrograde March 1st. So that will not be the time to be doing it. Mercury goes retrograde March 15th. That will not be the time to be doing it. You don't want to be first of all, you don't want to have to position yourself to say anything to anybody that's going to have long-term effects during Mercury retrograde, because Mercury retrograde affects your reason, your intellect, your movements, your expressions, your communications, and transportation. Those things are all affected. That rules your third and your sixth house. Venus, on the other hand, is how you love. Okay? So that shows up in how you love people. What do you perceive as being beautiful, creation, taking pleasure, romance, sexuality? All those different things are affected by this. Okay? So if you've been having those thoughts or these thoughts and you have been going back and forth, especially with Valentine's Day just passing, I'm telling you, either you're going to have to say something now or you're going to have to wait until middle of April. All right? Now, somebody may say, Mimi, why did you say middle of April? Because there's a pre-shadow and there's a post-shadow. Pre-shadow is 2 weeks before, post-shadow is 2 weeks after. And honestly, because we're talking about a Venus retrograde starting March 1st, really that Venus retrograde pre-shadow has already started. And let me tell you, I can tell because all these exes want to come back pouring out their heart. And I'm just like, okay. So, you know, like seriously, I ain't trying to be heartless. I'm just being honest. When it comes to some people, you just got to be like, you know, you just got to go there. Just got to go there, okay? So, with that being said, y'all, with that being said, if y'all ready to get into this energy reading, I need y'all to go ahead and put your teacups. Go ahead and find your teacups because I promise you, if you find those teacups, we are definitely about to get into business. I want you to put those teacups in the chat. Go ahead and put those teacups in the chat because, honey, when I tell you, I don't know whose business this is, but I feel like it's going to be good. I feel like it's going to be raw. So go ahead and put those teacups in the chat and let's get ready to get into it, shall we? Here we go. All right. So, Spirit, with clear and precise messages, show us great and mighty for the harm of none and for the benefit of all. Give us messages and insights for those who are not only here watching this reading, but for those who will watch the playback in the future. Thank you. Thank you. When understanding energy, it's important to know that Spirit will talk to us in abundant of ways. Okay? It's important to pay attention to signs and synchronicities. It's important to pay attention to your dreams. Even little subtle communications like this, right? Even little subtle communications like this. I think it's very important to note at this time that it is crucial to understand that some people struggle from unhealthy childhood traumas and wounds, okay? And it's important to recognize that. Now, there's a book that I've been reading and I've been promoting it to you guys. I am not being compensated to promote this reading to you at all. But the book helps color and texturize and helps you process and understand exactly what wounds look like so that you can position yourselves into a place of knowing how to deal with these things, whether it be from you or from your person, okay? So the overall energy reading today is wishing upon a star. Wishing upon a star. And how be it that at a time where I'm talking about healing childhood wounds, there is a small child here on this card. And as you look at her hands, there's a child hand and then there's an adult hand, okay? But you also see that she's being wrapped around, enveloped with like some type of wing. And I like to say an angel wing. And there's a lot of stars around here. Matter of fact, there's like a little angel wing back here, and you can't really see it, but I see it. And then there is rose petals here. Okay. So this tells me that this is referencing things that require faith, love, beginnings. There's also stars here. So this tells me that this is referencing that compassion and spirituality and illumination. Okay. This is about you trying to heal old wounds and still move forward. This goes back to that unbelief. Okay. That still goes back to that unbelief. Nobody, folks, I don't care who you are. I don't care how wealthy or not you are. I don't care what you have in the tangible, untangible, spiritual realm, whatever it is. Okay, whatever it is that you think makes you better than somebody else. We all have baggage from our past. Whether our parents knew that they had it, they were doing it or not. Okay? There are things that happen to all of us as children that affect who we are today, which is why it's so important that you're healed mentally and spiritually and emotionally to the best of your abilities. Because what you do and don't do to your children has long-term sustaining effects. Long-term effects. Okay? Long-term effects. And you got to be prepared to be able to really speak to that. You understand? You got to be ready to speak to that. And you got to be able to take it when your child is telling you, you did something to hurt me. And I know it's hard for a parent to hear, but if you're a parent and you got adult children and your children come to you and be like, you know what, mom, dad, I think it was really messed up when you did this because this affected me. You got to be able to respond to that. Even if you don't know what the right response is, even if you don't know what to say, even if you don't know how to say it, even if you don't know how to receive it. Sometimes just acknowledging that I was doing the best that I could with the time at the time with the information that I had, it's not an answer, but it's sufficient because there's a recognition that you have wronged me. Okay? Now, here we go. The overall truth for our journey. I know nobody wants to hear it. I know nobody wants to hear it. I know that. Failure. Howbeit that we're talking about this when we're talking about failure. Okay? I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn, which is exactly what we're talking about. This is an opportunity for you to learn. This is an opportunity for you to educate yourself. It's an opportunity. Okay? It's an opportunity. Sorry, y'all. I don't know what's going on with my sound today, so I apologize. Now, this is definitely an opportunity for you to learn from your mistakes, learn from the past, learn from things that may have affected you adversely. Now, thank you. All right, now, some messages that we may have from the spiritual realm, the hidden realm. Connection through the cosmos. This is about community. Everything is connected. The law of reciprocity. So this goes back to what I was saying about childhood wounds and childhood traumas. Learning how to heal. Okay? Learning how to work on those things that are those things that may have been no longer serving you. Okay? Releasing those things, but also recognizing that you have to position yourself into a place of receiving and giving love. Okay? How people love shows up different ways. You know, you have the complexities of love languages, you have the complexities and nuances of I mean, it's just so much. There's so much. But this is where getting to know somebody really comes in, plays a huge role, right? And knowing and understanding that you're not going to know everything about everybody all the time. You're not. Okay? You're not going to know. People just are people. People. Okay? And people always are people, right? And now, love is going to be the most difficult thing that you ever do. I mean, let's be honest. Because you can put in so much effort and energy into it and not get any tangible rewards. See, when you work hard at a job, you get a paycheck, you get promotions, you get increases, you can go take your money and buy things. You can put everything into love and not have nothing to show for it. We don't want to admit that, but that can happen. All right, now, what does the mermaids have to do? High tide. Embrace transformation and harness the energy of change to fuel your growth. So, are y'all seeing the connection this morning? Everything is about transformation and change for growing purposes. All right? Time to grow up, folks. Time to grow up. All right, Spirit. How is it showing up for us lives every day? We also have the moon in Scorpio right now, which is also talking about endings and transformation as well. Okay. Ooh, let me tell you something. We got a lot of water energy going on. I forgot. How did I forget this? It's the time. It's my season. It's Pisces season. Today's the first day of being a Pisces. Hey, Pisces. Ow. Yes. It's time for our season. Okay. So the sun finally went direct in, well, it's already direct, but the sun went into Pisces today. Okay. The moon is in Scorpio right now. Mercury is in Pisces right now, which is how it was when I was born. Venus is in Aries right now, but it's going to go retrograde, so therefore it will be going back in Pisces. But not yet. Mars is in Cancer, retrograde. Ooh, if a baby is born right now, that baby gonna be emotional. Jupiter is in Gemini right now. Saturn is in Pisces. Uranus is in Taurus. Neptune is in Pisces. Pluto is in, of course, Aquarius, and won't be moving for another 200 years. All right. So, it's a lot of emotions going on right now. A lot of emotions going on. All right. Now, here we go. This is showing up for us in our day-to-day lives by causing us to get to a point of where we're cleaning up our stuff, cleaning up your life, cleaning up your act, getting your skit together. Okay? Getting your skit together. Focusing on your healing, focusing on your growth, focusing on things that really matter. Not the little ancillary things that have nothing to do with the price of tea in China. All right? What is the soul whisper for today? What is the soul whisper? Boundaries. Okay, and we have a hummingbird. All right, boundaries with the hummingbird. I feel like this is going to be challenging you to create and to have healthy boundaries, especially with the color yellow being on it. Yellow is about intellectual things and positivity. Also deals with the solar plexus. And then we have purple on it as well. Let's see what boundaries. Boundaries. Have a heart soft enough to give love and receive mercy, but know that it is wise enough to know boundaries. Y'all, do y'all hear what I'm saying to you? Have you heard anything that I've said to you for the last 30 minutes? This is about how you're giving and receiving love. How you are giving and receiving love. If you, let's just be honest, we grown folks. If you know you could benefit from using help on how you give and receive love, can you just put some hearts in the chat? I don't care whatever color heart you want to put in the chat. If you know that you've been having challenges with how you give and receive love, can you just put some hearts in the chat? Because I feel like I'm talking to me. I feel like I'm talking to you. I feel like I'm talking to all of us this morning, right? It's time for us to open up our hearts and not be afraid and not struggle anymore with unbelief. Okay? Have a heart soft enough to give love and mercy, but it is wise enough to know boundaries, okay? Khalil Crowe made that statement. I have to sneeze. While physical boundaries serve to protect from predators and ensure survival, personal boundaries are equally necessary to maintain your well-being and sense of self. Many people struggle to exercise their personal parameters, finding it hard to say no when something is asked of them. Difficulties arise when you conform to situations that are not in alignment with your highest good, resulting in a state of resentment. When you clearly define the parameters around what is acceptable, you provide measured guidelines for those who are around you to understand and respect your limitations. Remember that others have boundaries of their own and may infringe on your personal margins. In order to coexist, it is important to create clarity between yourself and others to communicate your boundaries, right? This is about limitations, margins, thresholds. It's okay to say no. The shadow of this is overstepping, encroaching, interference, and infringing. Okay? This, and as I said earlier, this has something to do with your solar plexus with that color yellow. Remember I pointed that out? All right, this has something to do with the solar plexus. This also has something to do with your crown chakra with that purple in it too. How you're thinking, you know, like your connection. Anyway, the sacred words for today is I exercise my personal boundaries with love. I want y'all to put that in chat. I exercise my personal boundaries with love. We put here. I exercise my personal with love. All right, got that there. Among the smallest of all bird species, the hummingbird does not hesitate to protect its territory when necessary, reminding you of the importance of exercising your own personal boundaries. Now, without spending too much time here, and it was talking about knowing how to say no and knowing not when. This is a book that we've been talking about forever today, The Inner Work of Relationships. This is always linked down in the description box below because I'm likely to make some reference to another. And as you can see, I've been reading a lot of it. When it was talking about learning how to say no and not taking on more than what you are able to do, immediately I was drawn to that and the wound of overwhelm. Okay. And I'm trying to find it. I know it's here. I just got to find it because I read it. These are traumas that create overwhelm in relationships. Okay. These are traumas that create overwhelm in relationships. Okay. It is a good book. It is very much so a good book. Inappropriate age responsibilities like taking care of siblings or parents. So, like if you grew up in a single parent household, your parents worked all the time, maybe you had to take care of your siblings or something like that. Okay. So, things that don't allow you to be a child will allow you to feel this way. Life altering loss or change. So if a parent must have passed away, or if you had to go live with somebody else, like those things can cause you to feel this way. Compounded negative consequences, overwhelming demands or obligations as children, which goes back to what I said about age inappropriate responsibilities. Survival stress due to poverty. Parental unemployment, parental divorce, or your own divorce can cause this. Health issues or conditions that affect the child or family, a change in location, parents with drug or alcohol addiction. Okay. And these triggers come in relationships in the form of the inability to cope in order to overwhelm you immediately. You may be overcoming with a thought process, a root belief of what's the point of me doing this? Like, what's the point? And that's when we get to talking about that unbelief piece, right? That piece about unbelief, right? And the primary emotion there may be hopelessness. And there are a lot of other traumas that could be here that go back to the unmet child needs and thoughts and all these other things like that. So I'll leave this link for this book here. You can go ahead and take a screenshot if you're watching on TikTok. The link will be in the description box below. But these are things that can really cause you to get to this point of like, I don't believe, and or I keep saying that I can do more than what I'm physically equipped of handling. And one of the ways that shows up is when a partner shuts down. Okay. So, whew, that was heavy. I wasn't expecting for that this morning. But as we obtain more personal insights and shift our energy to the potential parties that are involved, I just want y'all to remember to focus on the things that resonate with you and don't overlook the message without considering all of your placements. Okay. Now, and I get that this message may not be for everybody today. It's okay. But if you know that I'm talking to you, just put your little church finger up in the chat. Put your little church finger up. Now, if it's you and your partner, put that little church finger up. Giving it time, everything in divine timing. Let things flow. Let things flow. Okay? Let things flow. Give it time. Let it flow. All right? So there may be something working that works with this. What is the tea? is the tea? Ooh. Same skit, different day. Same skit, different day. Okay. Spilling the beans, revealing secrets, cat's out of the bag, untrustworthy. Okay? So somebody is spilling the beans. What lies beneath all of this? Okay, red lipstick stains. So somebody may have had an infidelity. There may have been red lipstick stains somewhere, which is also why this person is considered untrustworthy. Huh. Well, in the earworm today, what did LL Cool J say in the earworm today? He said, for the first time in my life, I see I need love. There I was, giggling about the games that I played with many hearts, and I'm not saying no names. Then the thought occurred, teardrops made my eyes burn as I said to myself, look what you've done to her. Okay? All right. LL. Okay. What's the true emotion here? What is the true? I'm going to be honest with y'all. There is a heaviness to the energy right now that I feel. My eyes are heavy. Like I almost feel like I'm sleepy, but I'm not sleepy, and I know I'm not sleepy. But I have that feeling. Okay, spiritual gifts are here. Spiritual gifts. So there could have been some type of intuition, some type of knowing. Okay. Look into the broken mirror. What do we see? Deuces, cutting ties, fed up, walking away. Somebody's walking away. There is a split. Okay, there is a split. What is the yin and the yang? What is the yin and the yang? Oh, there is a heaviness. Oh my gosh, this is something that is really bothering somebody. This is really, really bothering somebody. I feel like this person is like emotionally inadept, like they're not able to articulate or put in words. This person may have had trouble. If it's not you, it may be the person. They have trouble or difficulty with saying simple things like I love you and mean it. Like if you're one who says I love you, they'll be like love you too, but they never say it on their own. They never say it on their own. Or they just be like you too. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Structure, foundation, wants to build a foundation, a balance, building slow and steady forming. Okay. So this is about structure. This is about structure. This is about a relationship, structuring it. Okay. We got to keep digging so we can figure out what in the world. Thank you. Yeah. All right. So we got a King of Wands here. This is about clouds. And I want y'all to look at this very intently. Notice that on this card, there is a whole city underneath that's living life. There's a bright light there, but above the clouds, y'all see that storm looming? I feel like this is kind of like what this person is going through. There's a mental clog. There's a mental darkness. There's a mental shift, which is also explaining why this energy feels so heavy to me. Like when I tell y'all my eyes feel so heavy, so heavy. Like I feel like I'm sleepy. Like I feel like I just want to go lay down. But I'm not sleepy at all. Not at all. Okay? This person may also struggle with the wound of shame and judgment. I feel like if it's not you, it's the person. Somebody in this dynamic has dealt with very heavy childhood trauma and emotional abuse, where the parents always were, or parents, whomever, whatever their dynamic, whatever their family was like, it was a lot of judgment, a lot of hypercritical conversations, things that were very just not edifying and belittling to a child, totally verbally destroyed this person's confidence as a kid. There was a lot of shame there. There wasn't a lot of feelings of love and admiration. There wasn't a lot of any of that. That softness, like that nurturing energy that parents are supposed to give their children, that was not there at all. Very absent of that. I also feel, um, I also feel, I also feel that there is this feeling of not belonging, right? Not belonging. Okay, I picked up on, I feel like this person, I mean, and this happens a lot in relationships, childhood upbringings, especially in the black community, where parents always say, oh, you know, because I'm working and putting a roof over your head and providing food for you, like I'm doing my job, or I did the best that I can do, or like it's interesting how delusional parents can be. Can we be honest about that? You made me and brought me here, but then you gonna punish me because you have to take care of me. Can we stop that lie? you know can we stop that mess? Like what is a child supposed to do? You're the parent, you're the adult. But I definitely feel like there was a lot of conversations like that being had, a lot of putting inappropriate responsibilities on a child. That's exactly what it is. And always reminding the child, like you're doing a favor, like they were done a favor. I feel like this person, once they became of age, they definitely did not want to have a relationship with the parent. Whomever raised them, did such a horrible job that they do not have a healthy relationship at all, if they speak at all. Okay? Now, I don't know if this is you or if this is your person. And I know that this is very sensitive, and I know a lot of times y'all don't want to comment publicly because it's very sensitive, very vulnerable, very raw feelings and emotions. But if you know what I'm talking about, can you just go ahead and put that black heart in the chat? If you know what I'm talking about, just go ahead and put that black heart in the chat. All right? Now, what's blocking this relationship from going and thriving? Here it is, being cold. Being cold. Okay? They grew up in a cold household, and they're cold and callous in how they move in their relationships. You seem unapproachable because you are aloof. Try being friendly. But they're really cold. Very cold. Okay? And last but not least, is there love in this relationship? Is this love in this relationship? Ooh. Here goes the cold card again. With this blue rose, I am not the person you make me to be out in your mind. And that can be read two different ways. That can be read two different ways. But because this is a blue rose, this person is very cold. Okay, so the feelings are not there in this connection that we are talking about. So let's go ahead and look at this. I definitely feel like this story is coming from the perspective of the person who knows they need to change. Like they know they need to evolve, they know they need to grow up, they know that this is unsustainable. You can't go through life without love. They know that and they recognize that, but because the trauma is so insurmountable, they don't know how to overcome that. They don't. Like they're just rude, they're mean, they're nasty, they're cold, they're belittling, they're unsupportive. They show their love for you in a weird way. Okay, a weird way. And I don't know who this is because this is a collective. So this could be you or this could be the other person. But if this is you, I feel like you've heard this feedback before from other people. Okay, now the person who was cold, they're dealing with mental clouds. They're struggling with mental health right now. Bad. Okay, mental health, emotional health. Could also be struggling with spiritual health. Okay. They're very cold though. Very, very cold. I'm not the person you make me to be out in your mind. Okay. They're very cold. All right. They're distant. They intentionally distance themselves. It's the same stuff with them every single day. And I think they got to learn how to be patient with themselves. All right. They got to give it time and let things flow. All right. But they also got to be willing to do the work. And I don't know if they're willing to do the work. Because oddly enough, when people have been traumatized so much like this, it's hard for them to even recognize and accept that they need help, which is also a reflection of that overwhelmed trauma wound. Okay? It is hard for them to recognize they need help, ask for help, and then even to accept the help. So it is, when I tell you, it is the most astounding thing, if we're being honest. Now, person B, I feel like you just kind of like sick of this. You really want something that's very stabilized and structured. You want that lifestyle. But I do feel like you may be frustrated that things are not moving the way that you wanted to move in. So there may be some type of red lipstick stains. There may be some type of spilling of the beans here, revealing secrets. The cat's out of the bag. Somebody's untrustworthy. I feel like you're cutting your ties here, and then you're tapping into your spiritual gifts as well. Okay? Which is where the connection could be there. And I hate to say it because it does pose a justification, but what I'm saying is that if you have one person who's always in a mental cloud and you have somebody else who knows how to tap into their spiritual gifts, that's how people get used. You understand? That's how people get used. That's how people get used. Because somebody's coming around you, using you for what you can do for them, but not really reciprocating, right? But I do feel like all these things are about this person coming to clean up, protecting, learning how to set healthy boundaries, but what's okay with them, being gentle with themselves, being kind with themselves, nurturing themselves, learning, educating yourself, going and signing up for therapy. All of those things mean something, folks. They mean something. So, with that being said, if y'all are ready to get into reading, I need you to go ahead and put in the chat those magnifying glasses. Go ahead and put those magnifying glasses in the chat because, honey, now it's time for us to get into it. And I want to know whose business is this? Whose business is this? All right? So, we unfortunately don't have our drums today, but imagine. Share whose business? Whose business is? Person A could be a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio coming in as the Four of Cups right now. Okay, coming in as the Four of Cups right now. Coming in as being meditative, contemplative, apathetic, reevaluating things, and feeling disconnected. Okay, absolutely could be coming in that way. The person that we could be talking about in this relationship, person B, could be also a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio coming in as a Knight of Cups in reverse. Alexa, turn on living room light. I don't know why she does that. Nobody said turn off. So we could be having two Cancer, Pisces, Scorpios dealing with each other. The other person here could be moody, disappointed, overreactive, and imaginative. Okay. This person could also be very much so not who you think they are. Okay? They could be very much so not who you think they are. In other words, this person's full of skit. Okay? Could be full of skit. All right? Whew, this is heavy this morning. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Remember, I read for Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. So unless you know what all your placements are, you can't say what is or is not for you. But I will tell you, y'all, if y'all are ready to get into this tarot card portion of the reading, let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. Can y'all put those coffee cups up in the chat? Put your coffee cups up in the chat. Put your tea cups, your wine glasses, your drinks, wherever you are. Because I feel like it's about to get deep. I'm telling you, we've been here for an hour already, and this done got deep already. It done got deeper than where I thought I was going. Okay? So if y'all ready to get into it, go ahead and put your coffee cups in the chat. Go ahead and put your coffee cups in the chat, and let's get ready to get into it, shall we? Here we go. All right. If you are a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, can you go ahead and rep your sign in the chat? Rep your sign in the chat. I want to know where you're at. It's Pisces season. Woo! Big Pisces energy. We got the baddest of the baddest. We got Rihanna. We got the Rihanna or Rihanna. Okay. We got the Rihanna. All right. And you got me. And we got Erica. Okay. Baby. We got Common. We got Quincy Jones. We got so many people. So many people. Chili from TLC. So many people. Justin Bieber. Okay. We got a lot of folks. All right. Here we go. Got a lot of weirdos too. Let's just be honest. Nicole said Pisces. Listen, we got a lot of weirdos. Let's be honest. It's a lot of strange birds that belong to us. Janine, yeah, Janine, cute. I can never say her name correctly, but we got her too. Yep. Got a lot of people that's a Pisces. All right. We also got Diddy as a Scorpio. You know, just saying. All right, here we go, y'all. So what is the overall present energy? Spirit, what is going on with my water signs? What is going on with my water signs? These cards do not want to shuffle, honey. There may have been a lot of conflicts going on with you and this person, like a lot of arguments, a lot of impasses, like they're just not being a succinct decision making process. You understand? It definitely feels as though there's been a lot of conflict in this relationship. Right? A lot of conflict. A lot of pettiness, a lot of arguments, like just little things popping off and making more big deals out of things than what they really need to be. You know, a lot of that. Okay. All right, person A. It's coming in as a. I can't make this up. Didn't I just say it's a lot of conflicts going on in this relationship? This person is dealing with a lot of internal conflicts with this Five of Swords. They got a lot going on right now. They're in their mind. It's a lot of conflicts, confusion, mental agony and baggage. Those mental clouds that we talked about, right? So this person is dealing with a lot of internal conflict and stress. And that's where these mental clouds are coming from. And this is where they're hot and cold. Okay. They may have 1 minute where something that will be okay today will not be okay tomorrow. Okay. There may be one of those instances where, you know, they'll do something to you, but then when you do it to them, it's a problem. You know, it's this very convoluted, complicated energy. Okay. Very convoluted, complicated energy, right? And if we're being honest, okay, this is one of those things where it's like you don't know if they're really going or coming, which can be frustrating if you're trying to be a partner to this person. If you're trying to love this person, if you're trying to show up for this person, if you're trying to be there for this person, it's very difficult to ascertain, like, what does that look like in that capacity? But this may also be a boundary for this person as well because they don't know how to receive love. Okay? They know what it is, but they've never seen it before. Remember all the things that I told you leading up to this. Every example of love that this person has had has been unhealthy. It has been ugly. It has been damaging. It has not been loving. It has been polar opposite thereof what we're talking about. Okay? A lot of abuse, a lot of trauma, and a lot of having to figure things out on their own. Everybody doesn't have family dynamics that are healthy. Okay? Everybody doesn't. Which is why it's important that when you meet people, you ask them questions about, like, tell me about what your childhood was like. You know, what's your relationship with your mother and father? Are your parents still together? Have your parents ever been together? Now, like, asking those types of questions go a long way in helping you understand what type of person you're coming into a union or a partnership with. If you've been experienced this level of coldness from your partner, if it's you, if they told you you've been cold, or if you've been experiencing this level of coldness from your partner, can you put down in the chat and tell me like how this has really been making you feel? Again, this is not a judgment. I'm not here to judge you at all. I'm not judging you at all. I'm just curious. Like, tell me in the chat how this has been making you feel, because this can be very traumatizing within itself, right? Because now this can trigger and evoke feelings of rejection over to you, abandonment, right? This can make you feel used. This can make you feel dumbfounded. You can be lost. You can be confounded. You can be astounded. You can be anxious. It can be so many different feelings. Okay? And that's negative energy. You understand? Like all of those things that I just described are all pure negativity, right? But the reality is, y'all, they're doing the best that they can with what they have. You know, as my granny used to say, my grandmother used to say, you can't get blood from a turnip. You can't get blood from a turnip. You know, you can't get blood from a turnip. Okay? Now, for person B, they're coming in as the Eight of Swords. You know good and doggone well that this is an uphill battle. Choosing to be in this situation with this person. Now, McCall on YouTube says, I'm single, but this issue is with my child's father. So in her instance, she doesn't necessarily have a choice. She has to deal with this person, right? And for some of you, you may actually have to deal with this person because of similar circumstances. There are others who are like, you know, you so fine. Oh, you so fine. I just love you. Even though you get on my nerves, right? And let's be truthful. Your lack of boundaries, either way, can be also a reflection of you. And I'm not shaming anybody. I'm not condemning anybody. I'm not putting anybody on blast, right? Because when you deal with people who come to the table with these types of concerns or issues, right, that need to be addressed, how you allow them to show up in your life is also a reflection of your personal things that you need to work on, like your shadow side, your issues, right? So if somebody is always, for example, cursing you out, and you accept and tolerate this person cursing you out, what is it about you that allows them to talk to you that way? You understand what I'm saying? And I hate when people put things that way. So let's reword that. Why are you so comfortable with allowing that person to talk to you that way? Is that how you receive love? Or do you think that that's a reflection of love? So again, I'm not putting this on anybody. I'm just using that as an example because that is how this energy is showing up here with this Eight of Swords. That's exactly how that energy is showing up here. You're putting yourself in a self-imposing prison dealing with this person. You don't want to admit it. You don't want to see that it is what it is. You don't want to accept and acknowledge that it ain't what it ain't. Baby, it is what it's going to be. And instead of you deciding that I deserve better and walking away, you're resistant to that. You don't want to admit it to yourself. And you're trying to be the loving, because you know us water signs, we just want to love everybody. We think we really do have a savior complex. Let me tell you that. Let's just be honest and say it is what it is. We have a savior complex. We live in denial. We think we could fix everybody. We think we can love everybody. And we may not be able to have that impact or effect on them in real time. But let me tell you this thing though. As soon as we move around, the Mickey Fickies know they messed up because they don't want to let go. They be here forever. They be here for a long time. They be over here worrying us, calling us. You done moved on with your life, done had 8, 9 kids, got married, and been 25 years done went by. They still calling, baby, you know I love you. I know I'm too late. Too late. Okay, too late. So we do have that effect on people, but we don't always reap the benefits of it in real time. All right. Now, if you are experiencing this dynamic in your relationships now, tell me in the chat, how is this really affecting? Is this even a working, sustainable relationship? Because I know a lot of you wrote down in the chat that you're experiencing negative feelings and emotions. So help me to understand, like, what does this look like for you on a day-to-day basis? Like, how do you cope with this? How is this manageable? How is this even sustainable? Because I can imagine, and I have been in a situation, ironically, with somebody else that was a Cancer, and they dealt with a lot of traumas. And when I tell you, I just got to the point to where it was just like, you know what? I have not done anything to you, right? So, for example, good example, Spirit, thank you. This person always hot and cold. One day they cool, the next minute they're not. You know, and it got to the point to where I was very understanding, I was very empathetic, I was very patient with this person. And one day it just dawned on me, why do you talk to me that way? Why do you speak to me as if you hate me? I don't speak to you like that. Why do you speak to me like that? And it got to the point to where I had to tell this person, I don't like the way you're speaking to me. I don't think that it's intentional. I think this is the way you just speak normally, but it is offensive to me, how the tone and how you're speaking to me. And one day I checked it, I blocked that person, you know, that person started calling me private months later, apologizing, same thing happened again. So more recently, when I was just having a conversation with them and I unblocked them and I was, trying to just nice, same thing happened again. And this particular time I said to them, I said, you know what? I don't ever want to hear from you again. I am intentionally telling you clearly and precisely that I do not like the way that you're treating me. I do not like the way you're speaking to me. I don't curse at you. Why are you cursing at me? I don't yell at you. Why are you yelling at me? You understand? And so I said, so this is what I need from you to do. This is the boundary we're talking about. I need you to delete my number. I need you to never call me again. Don't call me private. Don't pop up at my house. Forget I exist. Okay? Forget I exist. All right? And I hung up the phone. I blocked and deleted this person's contact number. Okay? So if I wanted to unblock them, I wouldn't know it's them anymore. You in a line with all these other hundreds of numbers that's blocked. I got about 29 pages of blocked numbers in my. Okay? So that is the example of the boundary that I'm referring to here that needs to be set. But I also feel like because this is putting this person B in a place of despair, this is making them moody. This is also making them feel disappointed. This is also making them feel like I have no place here. So because they have been rejected and pushed away so many times by this other Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, this is where they're possibly stepping outside of the relationship to get that love, to get that confirmation, to get that validation that they need. Okay? They're possibly trying to figure out, like, how do I replace this love, this feeling? Because now I'm coming up empty. You understand? Now I'm coming up empty. I'm pouring into you, and now I'm coming up empty. So I got to get this love and this adoration and this affection from somebody else. I'm not going to say that person A pushed person B to cheating, but I am going to imply that. Okay? I am going to imply that. Now, what's favorable about this situation? The Fool card. This is giving both of you a new opportunity to start a new spiritual path. This is giving both of you guys to take that childlike leap of faith, right? And to go after the things that you want. Okay? This is giving you the opportunity to look at things from a new perspective. This is giving you the opportunity to reevaluate and assess what is important to you. Okay? This is really about how you want to show up. Okay? This is giving you that good luck. This is giving you like that new sense of being, right? That new sense of being and what's important to you. and go after it. Like don't overthink it, don't second guess it, just go after it. So for person A, this is really about them being able to start to do the healing on their inner child that they need to do. But the thing is, even though they're being poised to do so, if they don't do it, you can't make them do it. That is 100% undeniably a them problem. It always has been, it always will be. You can lead the horse to water, but guess what? You cannot make him drink. You can't make it drink. Okay? So that's that. For you, person B, this is giving you the opportunity to say, I deserve better. I've been hanging in here by a spider web this whole time. But I no longer am willing to accept nor tolerate the misuse and mistreatment that you have been placing upon me this entire time. I cannot do it anymore. This is where you have to put up, again, your boundaries. Okay? This is where all of these cards are tying into this reading. Now, the consequence here, well, first, before I move forward, if you fall on either side of the spectrum with person A or person B, can you tell me in the chat how the universe has really been signaling to you that it's time for you to make these changes or adjustments? Can you tell me that in the chat? How has the universe been showing you that it's time for you to take this step? Whether it's to get the healing that you need or whether it's to put up the boundaries that you need. How has the universe been communicating to you and pointing this out to you that it's time for you to do what you need to do? I'm curious. Tell me. How has the universe been telling you that it's time for you to do what you need to do? Now, the consequence here, okay? The Page of Wands in reverse. There may be a feeling that you don't have what it takes to start over. There may be this feeling of despair, like, I don't know how to start over. I don't know when to start over. I don't know where to go. I don't know how to really redeem myself. Okay. I'm trying to keep the peace. And I know if I leave, that's just going to be just as hurtful and damaging as if I stay. And it really does feel like there is this extreme sense of what do we want to call it? There is this feeling of extreme, like there is a grief even within this. Okay, even within this, there is a extreme grief of like feeling like I just don't know. Okay, and this is where we go back to that insight that I shared about helping your unbelief. Because there is absolutely positively a fear that is here. Where somebody is like, I just don't know if I can. So now you're questioning your own, both of you guys. I don't know if I can get the healing that I need to be so that I can be a better person, a better man, a better woman, a better wife, a better this, a better that, right? So that's the first person's plight. The second person's plight here is I want to move on, but I don't know if I can move on. Who's going to want me at this age? Especially for older people, we like to think that we're unlovable because we're X years old. We got kids. We've been married. Those baggages, right? Those societal pressures we think apply to us. Okay? And so in this instance and in this moment, you're being encouraged to take a new step, a new leap, a new path and move forward. But then you're resistant to the opposite. You're resistant to the change that you need and facing opposition because of fear. Okay? Which is also self-imposing conflicts. Neither one of y'all can get out y'all heads about things. You know you need to take change, make an action, take changes, do so quickly. But neither one of you are having these critical key conversations that need to be had to discuss with honesty and transparency. What is happening here? By no means, in any figment of anybody's imagination, is this a healthy relationship at all. In case you missed it, let me say that. This is a very unhealthy, toxic, convoluted, confusing, and delusional relationship. This is not even a relationship. It's a relationship by proxy. Y'all know each other. You speak. You deal with each other, but it is not a relationship. If you really truly think about what a relationship consists of, this is not that. If you really be honest with yourself, this is not that. So let me ask you this question. Now that we've discussed these things, what do you think will happen if you continue to stay on this path? Like, honestly, now that you know what you know, what do you think will happen if you continue to stay down on this path? And is this calling you now to make some adjustments? Or are you comfortable with continuing down this path, knowing that this is where you are, knowing this is where you're landing? And I know that's a hard pill to swallow. But let me know. I want you to write that down in the chat. And what I also want to know is this a repeated pattern for you with the people that you've been dealing with and the people that you've been dating? You know what I'm saying? I just want to know. Remember, this is a safe space. I'm not judging. I'm just curious. All right? Now, what is this trying to teach you? There is going to have to be a decision made. Okay? There is going to have to be a decision that is going to be made. And one of those decisions is going to be the easiest thing to do, and one of them is going to be the hardest thing to do. You got to make a decision. And of course, the easiest thing, the lightest thing to do is going to be the most attractive because it doesn't require no work. So of course y'all get to the point to where y'all at an impasse. Of course you get to the point to where it's like, I don't know, I want to do this anymore, you know? Of course you're going to get mad and blow up and block. You know? That's the easiest thing to do, is to block. The hardest thing to do is to say, what? I need help. I'm going to therapy. I want to be a better person. That's the hardest thing to do, because that is going to cause you to confront all of the negative feelings and emotions that have been looming here, that have been plaguing and intoxicating other people. That's going to be the hardest thing that you do. Sure is. Okay? So be very thoughtful about what decisions that you make at this time. Okay? And I want to inquire too, now that we talk about what this decision process will look like, if you can give advice to yourself, if you weren't you, but you can give advice to yourself, what would that advice be? What would that advice be? And I want you to write that down in the chat. If you can give advice to yourself or to your friends, somebody you actually care about that's external to you, if you could give advice on how to handle this situation, what would your advice be? Because what I'm trying to understand is, would you even take your own advice? Oh, y'all quiet this morning. I must be all up in your neighborhood, knocking at your door, beating down your blockity block, okay? Now, what do you need to do to heal? Ooh, I can't make this up. The devil in reverse. It's time for you to cut off these unhealthy attachments, these unhealthy, toxic relationships, which is exactly what we've been talking about this whole time. Learn how to heal from this. Learn how to heal and grow through this. Because a large portion of why you continue to stay in this is because you do not believe that you deserve better. Or you do not believe that you can do better. And I know that people say that in just. People say that in just all the time. I deserve better than this. Can you even imagine what better looks like? I mean, seriously. What does better look like for you? If you're not putting better in the forefront of your mind, then how do you know? I'm manifesting a better partner for me. Okay, that sounds good. But what qualities and characteristics does this person have for you to even know it when you see it? You get what I'm saying, y'all? Both people got work to do here. They need to let go of their childhood traumas and wounds and focus on themselves. They don't need to be dating anybody. They don't need to be having sex with anybody. They don't need to be doing nothing. They need to go somewhere when they're alone in their room, staring at the wall, hearing their conscience call. They don't need to be entertaining nobody. They need to be reading books. They need to be in therapy. They need to be walking out in nature, getting attention to solve and work through these issues. And that may take 9 months. That may take 9 years. But the growth that is going to be rendered, it's going to be undeniable. Because right now it's unsustainable. You cannot go on like this. You're not only hurting yourself, but you're hurting everybody else around you. And you're impossible. This person is so insufferable. If Jesus came back today, I don't even know if he'll want to be a friend of them. I'm just being honest. Not trying to be offensive, but just being honest. That's how difficult this person can be. Now, for the other person, you got to stop settling for less. You got to stop settling for less. You got to stop allowing people to encroach upon your boundaries and be firm. Who cares? Stop being a people pleaser. Who cares if they mad? You didn't care that I was mad. You didn't care that I was upset. You didn't care that my feelings was hurt. You didn't care about me. Why should I give you that much credence in my life? And then we got the King of Cups again. Okay? Both of y'all need to stop pretending to be somebody that you're not. Both of you are moody, difficult to deal with. You're unpredictable. Like both of y'all are wearing masks, walking around here pretending to be somebody that y'all not. Both of y'all pretending that y'all ready for relationships, pretending that y'all ready for love, pretending that y'all ready for this, that, and the third. You're not. You're not. Both of you are not. Ray Charles could see that you're not. Helen Keller can hear that you're not. Neither one of y'all are ready. And specifically for this person who has spiritual gifts, you could be abusing at this time those gifts to manipulate the situation to make it work for you. And that's not good either, because everybody is a free moral being. And if you have to sit here and take your spiritual gifts to manipulate somebody, you're overriding their free will to decide and to choose what they want for them. And that's not good either. Okay? Now, we got the Eight of Wands. You're being encouraged today to take immediate action. Immediate action. This is not something that you need to delay. This is not something that you need to procrastinate. Like, this no longer, I keep saying it, and I'm going to say it. This is unsustainable. You no longer can continue to go down this path doing things the way that you're doing it. Both of you can no longer continue to go down this path carrying on like this. Neither one of you can. Neither one of you can. So let's clarify. Person B is more likely to be in a position to receive. Again, it goes back to, I don't believe that I can. I believe I can, but I don't think I can. You know, that's what that is. Here's that manipulative behavior I just spoke about with the Magician in reverse. So I definitely feel like it's not just this person here with these spiritual gifts that are manipulating the situation. I also feel like the person A is doing things to manipulate things too. But both of y'all have very manipulative ways. Very freaking manipulative ways. And baby, it's mental manipulation. It's physical manipulation. Okay? It's all of the above. It's all of the above. Like when I tell you, this is a very toxic situation. I wouldn't give this relationship to a rat in the form of poison. I wouldn't. So if I wouldn't do that, why are you doing it to yourself? You understand? Why are you doing this to yourself? You're imposing this continuous heartbreak, this continuous, I mean, like, this is you. You deserve better. But instead, both of you guys are reacting with manipulation as a form to cover up the insecurities that are present. And the insecurities that are present are stemming from childhood traumas and wounds, things that have been done in the past. They're haunting you like skeletons in a closet. Now we got the Five of Cups in reverse. I know you want to be optimistic. I know you want to be, you know, encouraged. I know you want to, try to give it everything that you possibly can give it. But again, the reality is, folks, this is not it. This ain't it. You can do whatever you want to do to try to control the narrative. The narrative ain't yours to choose. You have your life, they have their life. That's what makes relationships compound complex. Because relationships are predicated upon the decision that is mutual between two people, that we agree that this is what we're going to do. It takes two. And if you're making the decision for them by using your spiritual gifts, and if they're making the decision for you by using other things to hang over your head, then how is that a form of optimism? It's not. But there is this quiet desire that things are going to get better, but then you're not doing whatever it takes to get better. Now we got the Knight of Swords. I definitely feel like there is going to be an opportunity here for things to try to redeem itself. But I don't feel like that's long term. I think like that's a temporary feeling. Okay. It definitely feels like to me, even if they do come and they say, I'm going to work on fixing this, and this, and I want it to be fun and I want it to be this. I think that's where this I'm not the person you make me up to be in your mind card is coming in. Because it's giving birth to a fantasy. Because, see, you're looking at time. Y'all are looking at the length of time y'all been knowing each other. Y'all been dealing with each other. Y'all been dealing with each other all this time. Time equates to nothing if inconsistent. See, that's the word. You got to be consistently doing something for all this time. So I'll give you an example. You can go to the gym every day. Right? Every day. When you go consistently and you work out, you'll start to see results. Right? Within about a month, you'll start to see some results. It won't be astronomical, but you start to see some results. So when you go out, you go to the gym every day for 3 months, you start to see really good results. But if you be inconsistent, even though you've been having that gym membership for the last 6 months, if you go once a week, how are you being consistent to see the results? You're just deceiving yourself, walking around here with that LA Fitness Q card or Planet Fitness thing. So when you go to the grocery store, you go somewhere, you scan those little things. Everybody know, oh, look, they work out. They got the little gym tag. But if you ain't going to the gym consistently and applying yourself, well, it's a mute point. Consistency means something, folks. You want to know why my sound is not on today? Because I've been testing the sound effects, because when I was listening to the playback, I was getting frustrated that the sound was inconsistent. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. So I had to call a sound engineer to help me, because I've been trying to get this issue resolved for months now. And it's just driving me nuts. But consistency goes a long way. Consistency is never a word that will ever go out of style. Consistency equates to persistence, which plays into being resolute, which plays into being dedicated, which plays into being committed. So reverse engineering that. If you're not consistent, you're not dedicated, you're not persistent, you're not resolute, you're not committed. So if you're none of those things, who cares that it's been all this time that went by? We just been knowing each other, which goes back to what I said about there being not a relationship. It's not a relationship. Y'all just know each other. And I said that almost 2 hours ago. Okay? Now, this is why things aren't happening with this Wheel of Fortune. This is why things are not moving forward. This is why things are crazy. You're going against the flow of what God is trying to get you to come into. You're out of alignment. You're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Your money might be funny. Things, as they say, all hell is breaking loose. And you may start to notice that you only feel that when you are around this person. When y'all break up and y'all go your own merry little way, people start paying for your coffee at Starbucks. Something might have been on sale that you've been wanting to buy for the last 18 months, and now it's on sale suddenly. One day only sale. Just little things like that start happening when you're not with this person. The moment they come back, here come this dark cloud. Here come these toxins. Here come the stress. You understand? Both of you have more power than what you're giving yourselves credit for. So I'm asking you today, and I want you to write this down in the chat. I really do. I want you to write down in the chat, how can you step into your most empowered, authentic version of yourself? Because I want you to take ownership of your growth. You are responsible for your own happiness. Do not be deceived. Nobody else can make you happy. That is a you problem. Now and forever, and always has and always will be. The only thing another person can do for you is to come into your life and to add to your happiness. But if you're not happy with who you are and happy with where you are, how you expect for Joe Schmo to come into your life and make you happy? They can't do that. They don't have that much power or influence to make you happy. You know, you'd be like, ooh. They're just adding to your happy. They're amplifying your happy. They're not making you happy. We need to stop saying that. You are responsible for your own happiness. You got to work out your own happiness. That is a you problem. You. And the reality in this dynamic, two unhappy people have been coexisting this whole time. So guess what's being amplified? A bunch of unhappiness, a bunch of negativity, a bunch of trash. Garbage in, garbage out. What is in you will come out of you. So the question then becomes, what are you doing today to step into your most empowered, authentic self? What are you doing? How are you going to step into that? I want y'all to write that down in the chat. And many of you don't even know. So let me rephrase this. I want you to affirm, I am now, I will now, I will now. So let's write this down in chat. I will now, take control of my own happiness. to evolve into my most authentic self. That's a lot. I will now take control of my own happiness to evolve into my most authentic self. I will now take control of my own happiness to evolve into my authentic. Because I really think it's important for you to know that you are responsible for that. You can't be accountable for what other people do, but you can be accountable for what you do. Now, you got the Hierophant here in reverse. I definitely feel like there's lessons here that got to be learned. There are definitely lessons here that need to be learned. There are definitely things that are untraditional and unorthodox that are here that are happening and have happened. But there are things that are being here that are being placed in front of you to teach you and to show you that it is time. It's okay. You got to give yourself permission to heal the little boy and the little girl that's inside of you. You guys have got to come into that. And it's hard. It's painful. I ain't gonna lie to you. You might have to have some difficult conversations with some loved ones about some things that have happened in your past. And for some of you, you're not going to be able to have conversations because these people may no longer be alive. But you may have to write some letters and burn them. But you have got to let it go. Because you're still grieving to protect the younger version of you, who was helpless, who had no control, and who had no say over their lives. But this adult version of you has control over you. And it's time that you walk into it. All right, y'all. So let's get ready to close this out because we've been here almost for two hours. So I need y'all to go ahead and find those notebooks, those papers, those pens. I need y'all to get ready to write this stuff down. Find those emojis, the notebooks, papers, pens, scribbles, whatever it is, journals, whatever it is that you can find with your emojis. I want y'all to get ready to take notes because it's time for us to close this out, shall we? All right. So as we get out of this business, here's the potential final outcome. And I say potential because I cannot predict free will, neither can you. Okay. But I want y'all to write this down. So find some emojis, a little paper, take note taking emoji, whatever it is. Look at that 4 cups there. I know this is going to be hard. I know it's going to be difficult. I know it's going to be unfair. But you owe it to yourself. It's more difficult to stay in a situation that's not serving you than it is to walk away from something that's not. That's where those boundaries, that's what self-love comes in. That's where all that plays a part. All right, here we go. Got the Knight of Swords in reverse again. Well, we got the Knight of Swords, but now it's in reverse. This may take a long time for you to really put this situation behind you. But if you're being honest, this is a very stagnant relationship. Very, very, very stagnant relationship. Right? Very stagnant. All right. This person may also start acting a little bit strange, acting a little bit more possessive about you too. Okay? Start doing loony toony things. Just know what's coming. Okay? Because this is the inner child in them coming to the surface. Crying out. Anxious attachments, as well as fearing. It's that fear. Okay? So they want to hold on and latch on to what they cannot get out of, because that's the inner child in them. Fighting for what is theirs. Okay? Now, you're going to get mental clarity. Both of you. Okay? You're going to start getting mental clarity about why this is important, why you're taking a step in the wrong direction. Once you make that first step, that first leap to go get your clarity, baby, you're going to start seeing it come out of everywhere. Everywhere. All right? This is going to make you feel, with this Knight of Wands in reverse, okay? We had this card already too somewhere. But you're definitely going to feel like you may not have what it takes. Because these emotions are going to be so overpowering, so raw, so vulnerable. This is going to make you feel like the more work you do to unleash and unravel and to walk into this, the more you are unpeeling that onion. It's going to, I'm stuttering now. I'm faltering because I'm trying to find the right words. As you start to unpack this, and it's a lot to unpack, as you peel back those layers, you're going to feel more and more insecure. Like you may even reject what you're learning and discovering about yourself with this mental clarity. But I'm telling you, it's a part of the process. Grow with it. Okay? Here it is, that Four of Cups. That's where you might start feeling like, I don't care. That's that empathetic feeling that we had there. I don't care. In a deep contemplative state. Reflecting and assessing. The woe is me. You're going to feel all of that because this is not going to be a good feeling. But guess what's not also a good feeling? Staying in this. Staying in this. So pick your poison. Are you going to spiritually die from being in toxic, unhealthy relationships? Are you going to spiritually die from growing through them so that you can become a better person and actually attract the love that you want? Attract the kind of relationship that you desire? That's the question. And it ain't easy. Oh, Lord, it ain't easy. It ain't easy at all. But you got to believe and know in your heart of knowing that you deserve it. That's where that unbelief comes in. That's where we have to overcome that. You believe in it, but do you receive it? I mean, that's a good way to book in all of this that we've been talking about for the past 2 hours. It goes that work. Baby, you got to put in work with this Eight of Pentacles. You got to put in the work. You're going to be burning the candle at both ends trying to make it happen. Sun, moon, Venus, rising. All time of day and night. You're going to be doing what you got to do to make it work. But you definitely going to be putting in some work. This ain't going to be easy. Now, I got a question for you. How does this outcome make you feel? Does it make you feel relief? Does this make you feel inspired? Does this make you feel excited? Let me know down in the chat. How does this make you feel? Does this upset you? Does this anger you? Does this give you confirmation? Like, what are you feeling right now? Ooh, I keep popping my bones. All right. So, here. What shadow work should the first Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio be working on right now during this time? First one. Grief. In pain, finding healing and deeper connection to the self. This is about sorrow, mourning, and loss. Remember, we talked about that when I was talking about those trauma wounds? Person A is dealing with a lot of grief. A lot of grief. A lot of grief. Okay? I'm over here dropping cards on the floor. All right, that's one. Where's the other one? All right, Spirit. Person B. What shadow work should this person be working on? Dependency. Well, find strength in self-sufficiency and empowerment. This is about reliance, neediness, and addictions. Okay? So part of the reason why you may be dealing with this situation or have been dealing with this situation is you're scared to be alone. Goes back to your happiness. You know? Whew. All right. It's not too much to add to this today because I feel like it's going to leave you with a lot to think about on your own. So I just want to focus right now on the soul truth. Right? The soul truth to help you, leave you with some lasting thoughts that may help you on your journey. All right. What is the soul truth that needs to be taken with both people's spirit? Oh no. I can't make this up. What boundaries need to be created or strengthened within my relationships? We just spoke about boundaries. That's all we've been talking about is boundaries, okay? To create more healthy boundaries, we must first get in tune with our own needs, desires, and feelings and believe we are worthy of them. Didn't we talk about that? Unbelief and belief, okay? In your relationships, it is essential to know where they end and where you begin. Today's soul action. When we separate our energy from others, we gain clarity about what we really want, which is what we just spoke about, this clarity that's coming, okay? Then we stop doing things that no longer align with ourselves. If you are an empath, you can still be compassionate towards others without taking on their stuff. It is safe to trust that you are not here to fix anyone. Didn't we talk about that savior complexity? Sure did. Today's mantra: I have everything I need within me now, and so do they. I am worthy of my needs, and I set boundaries based on what is best for me. I have everything I need within me, and so do they. Well, on that note, y'all, whew, I want to thank y'all. I want to thank y'all on that note for tuning into the Pisces Tarot experience. Don't forget to subscribe to become a part of my growing community on YouTube. If you are watching behind the scenes on TikTok, you can watch me on YouTube. The link is on bio. The link is in my bio, but my name is at Mimi Lightseer. Why can't I speak now? Keep an eye out for additional content, okay? We will be having subscriber only lives over on YouTube, you know, subscriber only readings, all this stuff like that. Like, we got a lot of things coming up as we flush out season 2, okay? Remember, this reading is for you whenever you need guidance. So feel free to share it and replay it at any point in time. I love to hear from you guys. I love the messages. I know a lot of y'all be like, ooh, Mimi, that was harsh, but I needed to hear it. You know, ooh, Mimi, you know, what you said happened. And I know that y'all like to do that privately because a lot of the things we talk about are very vulnerable, raw. I'm not going to say embarrassing, but I can understand how somebody could be embarrassed. And remember, this is a judgment-free zone. We all are in this together. That's why it's called a collective. Okay? So, I say that to say, while I appreciate your DMs, emails, phone calls, texts, all of that, it also means a lot to me and goes a long way when you leave comments on the content, right? It not only helps circulate the content so that other people who may need to hear the messages can find it, but it also lets people know that there is validity in what I'm saying, okay? So please do that for me. And if you've enjoyed today's session, show me some love by giving me a thumbs up, all right? If you would like to do a personal reading with me, I am currently booking through my website and my website only at PiSeasTarot.com, so please don't hesitate to reach out. All right, I want to thank everybody who has stopped by to chat for the pre-show, the post-show, whatever. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you. Remember, y'all, everyone is fighting a battle that you do not see. Okay? Ain't nobody Superman, and can't nobody see through. Nobody has the capability. Everybody is dealing with a battle that you cannot see. So remember to be kind and gentle with others just as much as you are with yourself. Okay? Remember, how people treat you is not your business, but how you respond to them is. So I want you to remember to leave a little bit of love everywhere you go today. And I will see you again next time tomorrow.